All right, we are going to talk about the realities of eating out and the realities of social engagements and trying not to fight against something and wear out all your willpower, okay? So I had a great question that came in the community webinar the other day, which was something to the effect of I've got a holiday party on one day, a team party on the next day, and then I'm doing an eating out thing with a couple, like a couple's eating out thing. So basically 3 days in a row of some kind of either social engagement party. And this person wanted to know, how do I go about keeping up with my deficit during these times? Now, I share a lot of my things because I had to learn the hard way. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell my kids. You can take the advice of somebody who's already done things the hard way and learn the valuable lessons, or you can have to do it yourself. Either way, right? I mean, it's totally up to you. So I said to this person, because she was very concerned about still hitting a deficit, and I said, my first thing I would tell you is don't do that. Don't try to hit a calorie deficit. When you know you have a weekend like that, you're already stressed because you're just trying to make better decisions than you normally might have made if you weren't focusing on your health and weight loss. And to add the stressor of trying to hit a deficit with a weekend like that would be problematic, in my opinion. So what I encouraged her to do was to switch to maintenance calories, which that in of itself is a job too. So a lot of people don't really realize how many thousands or hundreds of calories they spend on these social engagements, between alcohol consumption, between appetizers, all the little things that add up really quickly if somebody else made the meal and it's higher calorie. So just switching to maintenance calories, what that basically does is it helps you to not gain weight, right? So that was number one. Number two, I told her to support her eating by having a high protein, high fiber breakfast and lunch as much as possible on those days, so that way she actually feels satisfied and full going into the situation, so she's not ravenously hungry, and so that way she can make better decisions. So avoiding the I'm going to hoard my calories or points or whatever until I get to the event, and then I'm going to try and force myself to hit a calorie deficit. What I have seen over time for myself, my coaching clients, is that it is very difficult to go against the social norm when it comes to eating in a group environment. If people are all eating appetizers or having chips or having a dessert, could you do it? Yes. I'm not saying you can't. Does it require a lot of willpower and to do it 3 times in one weekend? Probably not. Most people will kind of go into one way of self-destruction or other. They'll either go into the I'll just eat whatever I want, not track it, not worry about it, let the chips fall where they may because this is just too difficult, right? Or they will adhere, they will white knuckle it, they will use their willpower, and then when they get home or later after the weekend's over, they find that they might be binging, overeating, something to that effect, because they are, in a way, kind of making up for everything they gave up in those experiences. And so I have found it's much better when you're looking at an extremely social weekend to try to switch to maintenance calories, to plan your eating to support going to the event by having good sized meals, protein, fiber, making sure that you've thought through the social environment that you're going into. If everyone there drinks, even if you know that that's a problem for you, one thought that works really well for a lot of clients is just to carry around the cup that everyone else is carrying around. So if everyone's carrying around a wine glass, you also carry around a wine glass. You might put something other than wine in it. If you are holding the same container as everyone else, if you've got a small plate with a few appetizers, people will stop pushing it on you because they think you're already doing it. So I'd love to tell you that people don't work that way, but in my experience, they very much do. And so what I have found is if you mimic the behaviors of everyone at the party, they will tend to leave you alone and stop pushing food on you, stop pushing alcohol on you, just by you simply having the same cup that they do, by you seemingly having appetizers already or whatever. And that way it's not as big of a deal. So anyway, I hope these tips help. I want to encourage you to really play these instances out in your head like a movie before you go, and look at your past behaviors. Let those be the reality in which you engage how you're going to behave. So your history is a really good indicator of what's going to happen in the future. So if you typically see yourself overeating, over drinking, kind of losing focus, it would be much better for you to do the maintenance calories, carry around a drink glass that mimics everyone, plan on maybe having a couple appetizers, actually planning for those things instead of assuming you're not going to do it and then feeling like you failed the next day. Because in reality, it's all about change over time. Whatever you would normally do in that situation or circumstance, if you make a small improvement this next go around, then you are making improvements. And these are less frequent. These are not like your everyday habits, right? Everyday habits, going to the gym, cooking your meals, meal planning, those are what you do on the regular. These kind of events are more sporadic and they don't happen with as great a consistency. So you're going to have to look for them a little differently, and you're going to have to think about improving them more intermittently than you would if you were doing it every single day. So that's why I want to encourage you to think about these kind of busy social weekends through a different lens, where you're just trying to coast by, where you're not gaining a bunch of weight. And that way, come Monday or whenever the weekend ends for you, you can just pick up with your normal behaviors and move forward. Okay? All right, you guys have a great day. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know how I can better help you. And please share these videos with other people. I'm here to help. All right, I'll talk to you soon.